happening today, a powerful show of unity and support in New Jersey. Police officers are going to be getting on their bicycles to start a long journey to the nation's capital.
It's all to remember those who died in the line of duty. CBS News Philadelphia's Kim Hudson is live in Evesham Township this morning. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning. I'm here with Chief Walt Miller of the Evesham Township Police Department, and we have riders already showing up. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect for this kickoff for the Police Unity Tour.
So today we're hosting the kickoff event for the Unity Tour. It's traveling today from our Police Department and will end in Deptford, New Jersey. This year's ride, they're honoring officers that were killed in the line of duty in Winslow, Franklin Township, as well as Deptford Police Department.
Now, a lot of people might suspect that this would be a police motorcycle ride, but no, we're talking about pedal power here.
Yeah, so the officers, they're going to today begin a 4-day journey on a bicycle that'll end in Washington, D.C. on Sunday at the Police Memorial.
And my understanding is this is also a preview to Police Week. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so Sunday starts Police Week in Washington, D.C. This Unity Tour will be traveling to Washington, D.C. One of the aims they have is to raise funding for the Police Memorial, and at the Police Memorial they'll honor the officers that will be added to the wall this year, as well as all the names of the officers that are on the wall.
We have officers from several departments already starting to show up, but when they get to Washington, D.C., we're talking about thousands of names on that memorial, but unfortunately that won't be all. There'll be more added, right?
Yeah, this year they're adding 224 names, and it'll add to the 24,067 names that are already on the wall.
That's a tragic number, pretty shocking. How do you feel about your officers and officers from surrounding areas coming out to remember those who didn't make it through the year?
I'm very proud of them. This is it's not an easy thing to ride a bicycle from New Jersey to Washington, D.C. It's hard, but they, they do hard things on a regular basis. This is no different. Yeah.
You've taken the ride before, so any advice for any of the riders today?
Eat a lot and drink a lot of water, because it takes a toll on your body. Yeah, it does.
All right, spoken from a ride veteran himself, okay? Everybody, the kickoff ceremony will be about 6:45, and then they will go ahead and take off. They'll make several stops in our area before taking off for Washington, D.C., which they should arrive in just a few days. Let's go ahead and start with Evesham Township Police Officer Colin Hinklemon. This is your 4th year for the ride. What brings you here every year?
Unfortunately, the fallen officers that have passed away in this line of profession is what brings us here today, so that's why we're here.
Tell me a little bit about what this does for you personally to take a ride for hundreds of miles in order to remember these officers and to keep their families in mind.
It means the world to me. I think it's one of the biggest things that we do as a police community to remember those who unfortunately paid the ultimate sacrifice and lost their life in the line of duty. And I know it means a lot to some of us here close to home because they've had friends or family that have unfortunately paid that sacrifice.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what all is going on behind us. I mean, the bottom line is that this kind of seems like a mobile support group for these officers who not only are grieving the loss of one of their own, but, worried about themselves as well. Tell us about the sense of camaraderie here today.
It's fantastic. Everybody comes together for the same cause. It raises money for not only the families that have unfortunately paid, that sacrifice, but it also raises for programming down in D.C. and for the memorial down in D.C. as well for maintenance purposes. So it's just a great tradition that has started, I think it's 28 years ago now, to just continue on remembering these people that have lost their life, unfortunately.
Officers from all over the area met here at Evesham Township Police to kick off that tour. This is how they're remembering officers who did not make it home at the end of their shifts. One of their stops is in Deptford, where that department is missing one of its own.
Officer Schisler from Deptford Police Department last year was tragically killed about a year ago now.
Evesham Township Police Chief Walt Miller is talking about Deptford officer Bobby Shisler, who died last May after being shot during a pedestrian stop. Now these officers, including Evesham Patrolman Colin Hinklemon, will ride for Schisler.
For us, it hits close to home, and for it to be this close to home kind of stinks.
The ride today will be about 50 miles, making several stops, keeping Schisler's memory alive.
There's no words, I think, that could truly describe what this means for, I hope, only his family, but for everybody else in the law enforcement community as well.
This ride may be long, but Chief Miller says it gives these men and women in blue the strength they need to go on while remembering officers like Schisler.
I know for myself and a lot of them, it puts a lot of things in life in perspective, because pretty much life is just one step at a time.
Now, this ride will not end in New Jersey. These officers will continue on to Washington, D.C., where they will meet thousands of others from all over the world. And then they will continue on to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial, where the names of 200 newly fallen officers will be added. Live in Evesham Township, Kim Hudson, CBS News, Philadelphia.